How are you? Elisa,
Hello, Carla.
sorry,
How
I
are
have
you?
to change
How are you coping? I know
language.
what it is, it's the heat, right? Let's blame the heat for everything that's happening today.
Yeah, and literally we are like pretty much 40 degrees and it is
No
starting
kidding. I mean,
late
guys, if you are listening
morning.
outside of the DC area, that's the fact. It's
I know,
extremely hot.
extremely hot. Like I know that many people from Mexico tell me like, oh, like they think literally that Canada is cold the whole year around. No, guys, summer is hot, very hot,
Deadly
Cancun
hot, I would
hot.
say. Carla, and I have to drive, when I get into my car 2, 3 times a day, it's so hot inside.
I know,
And
but
I have a napkin there right now, so I can hold the wheel with it because it's like burning.
yeah, but we gotta say that we're pretty lucky. Like most of the places have air conditioning, so really,
Yeah.
like it's just like when you run to your car, and then like that's why I tend not to complain that much because at the end of the day, like we when we are in the cold weather, we have the heater. When we are in the hot, we have the AC. But of course, when you want to go outside, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Melting, and real estate's melting too.
I know, I know, I know. I can't wait for these graphs. Oh my
No,
goodness,
guys,
thank
just
you
as an
so much.
introduction, you're welcome. Yes, of course. Just as an introduction, the Greater Toronto Area, what we call the GTA condo, sales increased very moderately in the first quarter of 2024 relative to the first 3 months of 2023, which are the two timelines that we will be comparing today, right? So thank you for that. And now we are entering for the very first graphs. We're going to review them. I just want to mention that over the same period, the number of condo listings increased by a greater annual rate. And we're going to see that in the graphs, with buyers benefiting from much more choices, but the average condo selling price didn't change much because
Yeah,
of that availability in what's there for condo. So
yeah.
we're going to break this
Actually,
in two sections, in sales and rentals. Yes, yes,
yeah.
tell me.
I was gonna tell you that yesterday I was reading an article from the Globe and Mail, and they are actually saying that it's a very interesting time for first-time homebuyers to enter into the market because in this particular time, at least the buyer is able to negotiate, things like a thing, something that in the past few years or even like the past months they weren't even able to do anything. The sellers had a little bit more control over it, but it's a very interesting time definitely for them to enter into the market, and we don't know how long this is going to last because as the rates start to drop, more people are going to be entering into the market. And of course, with more people entering in the market, there is going to be more competition. And right now, it seems like there is a little bit more inventory. Tell me, like, you're the expert, but
Yeah, and just along those lines, is we are comparing the first quarter 2024 versus the first quarter 2023. However, we are already in June. This is not the first quarter anymore. There
in
will
the
be we're
second,
in the second quarter, and we still see pretty much the same behavior. So just backing up what you're saying, yes, guys, just follow these slides right now and you will see we enter the market with full confidence. And this is primarily, I'm talking about the first-time home buyers. So yes, the condo apartment sales, they increase from that quarter 2023 first quarter to this quarter first quarter 2024 5.3% from 4,500 ish units on the market to 4,747 units sold. However, if we compare that to actually how many new listings are out there on the market, when we compare those 2 quarters, it increased over 23% from 9,000
Wow.
11,000 condo units available for sale. And what is this telling us? That there's much more places to choose from. And
Wow.
the prices are not increasing that much because we were used to have this 10% increase year over year in the condo market. This is not happening right now. And if we see the next slide, um, yeah, so that's reflected in the price. We have there are much more things to choose from, and the prices didn't increase. Actually, they were decreased 1%, a minus 1%. So from we will compare the condo price from the first quarter from 2023, sold in average at 700,704, to the first quarter of 2024 for 693,754. So there was a slight decrease in the entire year, right? Uh, and the days on the market, and we can have that reflected, right? We have much more choices. So the sellers, people who are selling the condos, are staying stuck on the market for a longer time. It increased from 27-day in average to 33-day in average, which for Central, it's a lot. It increased 22% the time of a condo sitting on the market.
Wow.
So yeah, again, what you were saying, Carla, right? Go out there if you're a first-time home buyer. Just get in. You have all the power for negotiating right now, depending on
Yeah.
what you are
And
purchasing. Yeah,
and you're talking about Toronto, like the
right. Like, are you talking
one
about
of the
Toronto?
best
Are
cities
you
in the
sure?
world. Like I'm not saying like this
Yeah.
is definitely, for those families who are looking for that growth. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball to really say what's going to happen in the short or long period, but the trend that we see in real estate is that if you leave your property to grow for 5 for 10 years, you're gonna see that growth that definitely will allow you to have those funds, for example, to perhaps move into a bigger home afterwards. No, but what I like about this market is that, because many people say, I cannot live in a one bedroom condo. Like I need at least 2 bedrooms. And right now, I think there is even like opportunities for people to enter into this condo market with more space, which is a very unique type of opportunity for these first time home buyers, or even, you know, um, investors.
Right. Yes. And just backing up what the article you read in the Globe and Mail and what we're talking about it now. Actually, TRED, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, did a consumer polling conducted by IPSOS, which is a really big company, and suggests that many renter households will have no more patience for rent increases before they consider purchasing their first home. So once interest rates start trending lower, look for condo sales to pick up and much more first-time home buyers entering the market. So
Wow.
this is not just only like casual observation. This was actually done in a poll. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yes, so just narrowing down where we have the most amount of apartment condo buildings, which is downtown Toronto, and you can see the mapping in there. The largest sales conducted were for, like traditionally, this has been quarter after quarter, 1 bedroom plus den is the condos that are being sold the most, followed by only 1 bedroom, which Carla was mentioning, right? Just entering the market and start boosting yourself within it. So let's see the next slide. And this one bedroom, one den that it was sold the most, it sold in the average price in between $500,000 and $599,000.
Wow.
So it definitely is in the budget. Don't believe the headlines that say $1 million, nothing less than that. We have all these possibilities, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or an investor. These opportunities are great. If you don't have that amount, well, we can always try to find you something that has no parking. And believe me, if you're living or working in downtown, transportations and the walkability are so good that you really don't need to spend much more money in a vehicle. And that could, totally cut seventy
That's
thousand to $100,000 from the value of the purchase of the condo with no parking, right? So there
Yeah,
are opportunities sitting
and
out there.
let's remember, a lot of people don't want to leave the city. They really want to live in the city because they don't
Oh
want
gosh, yeah.
to do the commuting, no? So
Mhm.
definitely, you know, and another thing to consider is that if you are not ready to shovel the snow in the winter,
I never
definitely,
was.
yeah, definitely a condo is a very good deal for you to, skip the workout of shoveling snow. I mean, there are friends that I have that say, like, I love shoveling the snow, but might not be the case with you. Like, you might say, I even hate the winter because it's too cold. And that's the one of the things that many people say. So the condo could be a good way for you to skip that part. Like, if you get a condo with parking, you go underground, you just press a button and you go to your place, right? So there are quite a bit of things to consider when you are a first time home buyer, and one of them that I usually suggest for my clients is to think of the lifestyle that they want to have as well.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Now let's see what we have next. Yeah. Now this is for investors, definitely. If you're purchasing to rent a unit, um, and hold it. It's not time to resell your condo. Just hold it. Rents are incredibly high, and if you just purchased your unit 1 year, 2 years ago, hold on to it the most you can. Find the ways you can actually do that, because it's important that we get out of this bloop, so we
Exactly.
continue growing. So we
Hold
continue
on
growing.
very
Yeah,
tight and enjoy the ride. It's a very bumpy one,
it's a,
I gotta
yeah.
say.
Well, it
Every
depends.
day.
It depends how bumpy it is, because as I mentioned, right, as an investor, this is a business. Because some people think that, okay, I'm gonna buy a condo, I'm gonna rent it, and they miss the entire picture. You need to build it like a business plan. It's a business. You need to forecast what happens if things go sour. What can I do with my portfolio, with my investments? What if things go really well? What I can do next? Do I take a HELOC? Do I buy another property when things go bad? How can I help myself so my last resource will be selling the unit, right? And to see where the other resources can come from. This is a business, and if you first time are buying your condo, you're a business person already. So just contact us so we can help you out how to leverage anything that you may do in the future to forecast that depending on the neighborhood you want to buy, and help you plan ahead. Again, I am digressing here, but okay, coming back to the rental
No,
market. And
yeah, I just have to remind our audience what Warren Buffett says: be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy
yeah,
when others are fearful. So,
yeah,
coming from that, remember, right now, literally, we don't know how long it's gonna last. This period where there is more opportunities in the market, especially the condo market. And we don't and actually, one of the things that I want to point out, Elisa, is that interest rates for the fixed rates are pretty reasonable right now. We're able to find like as low as 4.69% around there, with some lenders. So the reason why I wanted to point out this is because a year ago we actually saw rates almost at 7% with banks. So that's a pretty big gap between rates. A lot of people talk about the variable rates because it's what you hear in the news. When is the next announcement going to be from the Bank of Canada? What people don't realize is that the fixed rates are very, very tied to the market, and this specifically the bond market. And the bond market is very volatile.
Oh
And
my God, it is
yeah,
very,
very
yes.
volatile. I can attest that last two
And I'm
weeks
loving it.
yeah, the bond market was trading at 3.8% for the five bond yield, but right now it's trading at 3.3, almost 3.4%. Is a very big jump from the time that before the announcement and after the announcement. And right now that
Yeah.
there is so much talk about the Fed's cutting rates, is everything is shaking. So literally it's a good time for you to even negotiate a good rate for
I
the
would say
5 year
first
fix.
to get ready because you do not know. It doesn't cost you anything to get your documents checked, to get your pre-approval. Sit tight on them and wait. Because you know
And
your application can be good for 90 days, 120 days. It depends on what you agree with upon with your mortgage agent, which I strongly recommend doing with Carla because she's so diligent doing this work. And get ready because once you find the opportunity and you are not sure and you want to jump in, uh, and you're gonna start getting all your documents together and do the evaluation, your financial evaluation, that opportunity might be gone. Though I must
yes,
say not right now at this point, right? But
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna go back to the rental market as soon as I can. I have about 3 minutes left.
okay, okay,
So
perfect.
yeah, no, go back. I just
Oh,
wanted to
sorry about that.
compare. I wanted to compare, whether we left the conversation, even though the rental market increased almost by 20%, 20% more
Wow.
people renting. And this might be due of all those first-time home buyers that stayed on the fence but had to fall back into the rental market, right? That's what people are arguing. Because if we compare this for how all the rentals versus how many new listings are increased 50%. The new rentals increased 20%. However, the new listings for rental increased 50%. And they're sitting there. They are sitting there.
Wow.
And I was mentioning that many of the landlords, once their tenants are living right now, instead of renting it right away, they prefer to sit on a vacant unit instead of renting it at any price because they want to hold that rental price for the entire period, which is 12 months minimum, right? So they prefer to do that and rent their units for a higher price. That's also one of the reasons why this is happening. Let's go to the next one, and we're gonna close it in the next one because this is an information that Carla said, "What?" when she saw the graph. Uh, well, the average price also, if you are a landlord and you are really sitting there expecting these rentals to increase more, it's not happening, at least not in last quarter. I don't think it's happening on this second quarter either, because you can see here it decreased 1.1%. If you compare the entire year from 2023 to 2024, on the first quarter it decreased 1.1%. And if you see the vacancy rate here, it increased
Wow.
30%. That's a huge number. We're
That's a
at
huge number.
2.6% of vacancy rate right now.
But I love
Uh,
your rationale behind it, that
mhm.
like yes, it is the market, but also the landlords are holding those units vacant because of this reason that the
Yeah.
rents are not as high as they used to be before.
Yeah, and you know what? Many as again, as a business owner, as a landlord, you need to account for this also in your numbers when you are
Of
forecasting
course,
for the future. How many months a year you are willing to stay vacant? Because the landlords who have to rent right away, and they also may rent to poor um, renters who have and their file is not as great as other renters, and then they find problems, right? Then the renter stops paying rent, or is a professional renter, and it's a mess. So many savvy investors are just, they better sit on the fence waiting for the right tenant right now,
of
instead of
course,
going through that trouble, because that is in the long run much more expensive,
100%, hundred
Yeah.
percent.
And this is the last one. And this is Mississauga, the downtown Mississauga, which is vibrant, growing, is beautiful right now. We have a different scenario here. Now we live in the rental market. We're going back again into the buyers, into the purchasing market. We reviewed downtown Toronto, and this is Mississauga, which they sell the most here: two bedrooms plus den, and also one bedroom plus den. Why? And it's very, very similar, the mix. But this is because also the price range is different, which is fantastic, especially if you're a first time home buyer and you need more space. This is a fantastic opportunity in downtown in Mississauga, because we also see here on the graph that the average selling price has decreased $100,000 from what is in downtown Toronto. Here we have the bracket of 500,000 to $599,000 as the bracket most sold in downtown Mississauga. Thank you, Carla. Thank you
Thank
always
you
for
so
facilitating
much.
this. You're amazing. And guys, please contact us. Put our phone numbers on the screen if you may. Thank you. So call Carla, call myself, follow us on YouTube, so you get notification for the next live, which we try to do every Tuesday. Sometimes, like today, we have to do some modifications because we have also other agenda in our day work. However, please call, send us a DM, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week with what was it, Carla? With
Oh, Q and A, Q and
yes,
A.
the
So
Q&A. So in
yeah,
the meantime, if you have any questions regarding real estate you would like us to answer live next Tuesday, please feel free to send Carla a DM or send that to me. And
uh,
thank you so much.
thank you, Elisa. Always a pleasure seeing you, and I see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.